test.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy National Spray Tan Day.
Spray tan day, dude. I clearly have taken spray tans. I'm as pasty white as you can get.
I had to Google it before we went live. What holiday we're celebrating? It's National Spray Tan Day, National Memory Day, National Afghanistan Day.
Dude, it's a lot of days.
It's a very exciting day.
So next week is spring break for our kids.
Yeah.
And Colton, he's big time into lambs, big time into 4-H. He's my 11-year-old for everyone joining us right now. And so he has his big lamb camp Friday and Saturday, where it's like literally 200 kids bring their lambs to this thing. They're teaching them how to brace them, teaching them how to train. So
that sounds loud.
it's going to be loud. It's going to be stinky. But that's going to be me a little over a week from today. But I'm pumped about it, dude. It's
That's cool.
It's always fun seeing your kids or team members have passions that you just like, man, I'm not passionate about sheep. I'm not passionate about farm animals, but I'm passionate that Colton is.
Yeah.
And that's going to be fun.
That's going to be awesome, man.
That's going to be fun.
We don't have any plans yet. We don't have any plans for spring break.
Yeah. Well, dude, you guys will get something.
Mind.
Well, guys, as you guys are popping in here into the live stream in here on the Facebook group as well, this is our weekly Evergreen Marketing Show. And so last week was our very first time that we had broadcast live to the group with this show. And it's going to be a weekly event. And honestly, one thing I want to kind of toss up before we actually kick into recording this topic, what this topic is going to be on, just to kind of plant the seed for those of you popping in, is we're going to dive into keyword research for the SEO side of things. Okay, we're going to show you, if you're newer in the game, we're going to show you how to get your first 5 to 6 keywords, the primary keywords you should be going after. If you're not newer in the game, we'll show you how to do that here in a bit as well, and we'll show you some cool data. But with this show, we want you guys to lock it into your calendar for 11 o'clock Pacific time if you want to join us live, because there's Q&A at the end of this every single week. And we've been doing live trainings, coaching calls, broadcasts since 2013, 2014.
It's been a while, yeah.
We used to do them on Tuesdays, or I used to do them on Tuesdays. And then now we're kicking this back up to where you and I get to connect and teach and everything weekly. And our team has really revamped our coaching calls on Tuesdays, which I'm excited about. So Tuesdays is it 11 or noon?
11.
One of the two. So
80% confident.
We'll link it up, and I know Beth on our team is on here. She'll make sure that she gets this right. But now Tuesdays and Thursdays, y'all, we're going to be able to support you at a deep level. Yeah. The Tuesday coaching calls, we'll link those up. If you're a member, you've got access to them. They're very tactical moving forward. Mallory on our team has taken over. Yeah. She's an amazing SEO expert.
It's exciting because it's following these calls. I mean, the whole intent is like, we're talking about the strategy on these calls, what to do. We're answering questions. The coaching call is taking a step further and really showing the tools how to do it. We've got like some exciting things coming up on coaching calls, like SEO hot seats.
Yep.
And Mallory had the idea to turn it into more of an interactive call. So I think we're doing it on either Zoom or Google Meets, so you can actually be in there in the room with people. It's sweet. Yeah,
I love it. Well, dude. So guys, we're getting used to how we do this, but as you guys are popping in, we're going to be switching literally over to now podcast mode. So if you see us kind of switch gears, we're going to be switching over to podcast mode. Anything else, dude, before we officially dive in and kick off the actual Evergreen Marketing Show?
I mean, it's also Crunchy Taco Day, so I might go get a Taco Bell Dorito Taco Loco after work, but that's about it.
Very good, dude.
Nothing important though.
I love it. I love it. Well, let's kick it off. Cool.
Custom.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Evergreen Marketing Show, where you learn how to grow your business, get off that marketing hamster wheel, and gain better rankings in Google, convert more leads into clients. So today, I was looking at some data, and over the last 90 days, let me read this data for you. Over the last 90 days, there was over 920,000 visitors, unique people, who landed on our Carrot clients' websites just from a Google search alone. Okay, that doesn't include any paid traffic, doesn't include someone who directly put in a URL. If we were to add those, that's another almost 3 million, over 3 million visitors over the last 90 days. What we're going to show you in this episode of the Evergreen Marketing Show with my co-host and friend Brady is we're going to show you how do you pick your first 5 keywords, right? How do you get a piece of that organic search pie, whether you're an investor or an agent or an HVAC company or a contractor using Carrot. And we're going to show you guys how to make it even simpler using some of our tools too. But Brady, dude, welcome on the Evergreen Marketing Show.
Thanks, man. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for listening or joining us live if you're in the community. This episode is brought to you by the Keyword Research Tool. We're going to be sharing with you how to use that. It's a really awesome tool at Carrot to make things a heck of a lot easier. And Carrot Camp. At the time of recording this, we got Carrot Camp coming up, our biannual mastermind, May 20th, May 21st. We're anticipating to be sold out within the next week or so, but we got a few spots left. So if you want to level up your business, check it out, carrot.com/camp. I'm really looking forward to that.
Dude, Carrot Camps are always a blast, man. We just finished up our first ever Epic intensive for the high level Epic group. And we were tasked with the challenge of this standard we'd created for Carrot Camp over the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
You know, hundreds of people through Carrot Camp. And so many times people would say, it's literally the best event I'd ever been to. There was a guy, Michael Smith. He's been to 2 Carrot Camps. Yeah. Big investor, you know, almost an 8-figure investor. He goes to everything. He's like, I'm in 2 masterminds. I go to all these events. And he sent one of his COO to the group. And he said, this is the best single event that he went to that year. And he spent over $100,000 in events. Guys, this event's a few grand. But we took that and we said, how do we now up the ante? I feel like we pulled it off for the Epic group. Yeah. But you guys are able to get amazing value in the Carrot Camp experience. I call it an experience rather than an event. Yeah. Yeah, guys, check it out.
It really is. It really is.
How do people find out about it?
Carrot.com/camp. Check it out. We got a few spots left. Yeah, hit us up. Well, we're talking about keyword research today. This is important because especially if you're a newer Carrot member, if you're newer to Evergreen Marketing, it could be overwhelming. There's a million keywords. You know, what are people searching for? What should I try to rank for? You have your website up. If you've been following along, you have your pages up, but it's like, what am I going to rank for? Do I start broad? Do I niche down? What do I do? So the whole goal is we're going to give you your first few keywords. We're going to teach you how to put yourself in the mindset of a seller, what to search for, and just give you your bite-sized action steps on keyword research.
Yep. And dude, one of the things we're going to do with this one too that I'm so excited about, Brady, is in the real estate investor and agent space, oftentimes I think we've almost like given our customers too much of a crutch where we've literally, like you said, we're going to give them keywords. Yeah. But we're going to go even deeper to show you guys, let's assume we didn't give you any keywords. Where do you start? Yeah. Right? If you're an HVAC company owner or Chris Teague, I'm going to give you another call out, man, because you're engaging in our Facebook group amazingly deeply. Let's say you're a contractor. And we don't already have a list of keywords for you. How do you then discover those? We're going to map it out on how we think about doing keyword research in a way that anybody could do it, even if you're not an SEO expert. Yep. But if you are an expert, this path is going to help you as well, which is cool.
Absolutely, man. If you want to talk about the customer journey, let's start there and talk about brand search. Because brand search is a huge deal of like, do I need to rank for my brand, or should I start going after broad keywords? What's your take on that?
Yeah, so the big thing for me, and for those of you on the YouTube or the live stream, we'll have a little screen share for you, but everyone listen to the podcast. I'd encourage you to get to the Facebook group, definitely community.carrot.com, or check out our YouTube, but we'll verbalize it. And if you can pop this up there, Braden, it might already be up there. So I'm going to keep on going back whenever we're on the Evergreen Marketing Show to really talk about marketing philosophy, okay? Because I think one thing that is really rampant in the industry that we're primarily in, which is real estate, I think it's probably going to be the same in most industries, is people teach a lot of tactics, but they don't really give you the strategy or the thinking that went behind it. So it's the whole analogy of you can either give the person a fish or you can teach them how to fish, right? And so that's something I'm passionate about, like teaching people.
I'm sorry. I watched it's just really ironic timing. So then I watched this YouTube video last night of like news anchor bloopers, and this guy was trying to give that analogy, a news anchor, and just completely froze, had an emotional breakdown, and forgot the analogy, and froze up on live news for like a solid minute.
What do you end up saying?
it's nothing. He's like, you know what they say? And then he slowly stumbles through it. And then he's like, you give them, you fish. And then he goes, no. And then he cut the feed.
He's just processing.
I'm playing that as you're saying that. We just watched that last night.
I love it. Well, I'm gonna try to teach you guys how to fish.
Yes.
And so if you guys keep on hearing me talk about customer journey, you're probably not hearing this anywhere else around the industry, because we're going to teach you how to fish, not just give it to you. And so if you look at the video part of it, if you're up there, or I'll verbalize it, the customer journey essentially goes left to right, right? It's somebody has a problem that they're experiencing. They do a Google search, or they see a billboard. Now they're open to finding a solution, right? They start to now call those phone numbers back from the marketing, or they do the Google search and find your website. So that attracts a visitor to your website. Now, once they're on the website, or they do a phone call, now they are hopefully going to convert into an actual lead, right? They fill out the information, they make a phone call, now they're a lead. And now they get down here into what we call the close, or the decision phase. Brady just can't get that picture out of his face.
I can't, dude. Brain. I'm struggling. It was funny. I'm going to share it in the Facebook group after
here,
this.
Braden? We need a fishing. Actually, I have right here. I have a fishing sign. Brady, have you ever read that sign?
I have
up
not.
there?
Is it
So
about
it
teaching
actually
them
has
to fish?
carrot. It has the carrot logo. You can't see because the big light's there. It says, "Many go fishing all their lives, not knowing. Oh my gosh, I can't even read this. This is a TV moment here. Many people go fishing all their lives, not knowing that it's not fish that they're after," by Thoreau. So now you've got a fishing line.
I'm going to put this video in the group so y'all can empathize with me afterwards. It's funny.
I like it.
Whew, okay,
So
here we go.
The first place we're going to start when we're thinking about SEO keywords is we're going to think about the customer journey. And you always work backwards in the customer journey, guys. So you're always going to work backwards with your marketing. So if you're doing PPC, if you're doing SEO, you don't start to get keywords that are attracting people that don't know about you. You always start with the keywords with people who already know about you. So that's your brand search, okay? So this right here is the brand search, all right? So you're going to first of all go like, what are the types of keywords that are brand search keywords? That's your company name reviews, things like that, right? And then you work backwards, and we're going to show you how to do that. And this is going to be for people who are not just brand search, but they know about they know about all the solutions, right? They're solution aware. Okay, solution aware.
They know that there are alternatives to an agent, someone that can buy their house fast for cash. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. They know there's agents, investors, wholesalers, there's multiples. And this is where they're going to be searching for things like cash home buyer, or, HVAC repair, or whatever it is. And then over here on the far left side, they're problem aware. Okay, and they don't really know what the solutions are. So that's where it's like sell my house fast, things like that. Okay, so that's where we're going to start, y'all. And I'll kind of bump that out if you can yank that out of the stream there, Braden.
Well, it's interesting. So we're saying start with brand search. Would you disagree if you're not doing any offline marketing? If you haven't done any offline marketing, if there's no search volume for your brand, would you still suggest getting brand search taken care of first?
It's a good question, dude. So my philosophy is always yes, because even if you're going and talking to somebody, let's say you walk in a house, or you hop on a phone with the seller, or once again you're in any industry, you're talking with a customer. What oftentimes people are doing is they had that first contact with you. Now I'm like, okay, I don't know who that company really is. If they're legit, I'm going to go search them up. And so that's where people will say, well, if you're not online, you don't exist. So we need to make sure that when people search up anything that may be logically put into their Google search, that they're going to find you.
Yeah, and we probably underestimate how many people will actually remember a website or go find the business card or whatever with the website on it. They're just going to go straight to Google.
Yeah, they're going to put in whatever it is, premier property buyers location, and then after that they're probably going to do like dig deep or premier property buyers reviews, or something like that. So that's where I would start, but. Or that's kind of the high level strategy of it. But the first thing that I would do, and I do this every single time that I'm diving in, I'm doing it right now for the HVAC market, because we're going in to serve HVAC and we have contractors using Carrot for the same thing. I pull up a note And so you guys, that's step one is when you're doing this, you're going to pull up an Apple Note, or you're going to pull up the text note thing on your computer, or a Google Doc, or I don't care what it is. But when you're doing keyword research, you're going to start copying and pasting a bunch of different options. You might have 10, 15, 20 different keywords that you're kind of finding. And then we're going to whittle it down to 4 to 6 in this call with you guys. Okay, so grab something there. And we already talked about the customer journey, but let's now say, okay, we're working backwards. I want you to write down these 2 or 3 keywords in that Google Note or Apple Note or whatever you're doing. Write down your company name. That's keyword number 1. Your company name plus reviews. That's keyword number 2. Okay. And if your company name's kind of generic, it's Brad Buys Houses, or it's ABC Property Buyers, or it's, just something that's really generic, then you're probably going to need to do your company name and location. Okay. Or your company name, reviews, location, or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like we have a client, Bo Hollis with Simply Sold. There's a Simply Sold in Florida. And you want to know what's happening with that company in Florida? Bo calls me probably twice a year and says, dude, I got another deal in Florida. And I'm like, are you doing any marketing in Florida? He said, no, but the other Simply Sold in Florida is, and I'm the one that's ranking for their brand search. And so,
because they're not ranking for Simply Sold Florida reviews,
exactly.
etc.
So he is, and so he created a Simply Sold reviews like type of a page in Florida, which he's not in Florida, he's in Louisville, and that place does have a website, but they haven't optimized it well for their brands. So they've missed out on well over $100,000 in profits because Bo optimized for that brand in the location.
I literally just Googled this on the webinar live yesterday, not even knowing if he was ranking for it, but like, let's find out. Simply Sold reviews, bam, he's ranking up top.
Yep, exactly. So if you have a generic name, y'all, definitely optimize for your location very well. And if you use Carrot, you'll have a better chance of ranking. The other Simply Sold in Florida, not using Carrot. So Bo's making some headway there. So those are your first 2 or 3 company or keywords. I'll give you one last one. I'll toss it back to you, Brady. Is if you as the company owner are prevalent in your marketing. Okay, so let's say you're doing TV advertising, you're doing radio advertising, and it's Johnny up there. Johnny Buys Houses, Johnny's the one. Or JP Pirtle's a great example. Carrot client, Epic member. JP Pirtle literally has billboards that says JP Sold, JP Buys Houses. I'm going to make sure that JP's name, JP Pirtle, is one I'm optimizing for as one of my primary keywords. Those are going to be the highest profit, highest value keywords you can possibly get, because those are the ones nearest to the end of the customer journey that you need to own. And you need to own those, because that's either going to make a difference of you winning deals or losing deals, like that company in Florida.
Yeah. And what's interesting there is that those, I mean, from what the searches I've done, those are usually heading towards people's about page.
Yep.
Like you Google, Brady Winder, Roseburg, Oregon, or Brady Winder, Brady Buys Houses. Example. Don't go Google me. I don't want to know what you find. But you're going to find the about page, like bradybuys.com/about/author, whatever, or just the about page, which is really cool because it gives chance to people to see exactly what you're about, your core values, your niches, and why they should care that you're in business. So
100%.
Huge opportunity right there. If you haven't optimized your about page and you haven't written a legitimate bio, then low-hanging fruit.
For sure.
Next thing, think like your customer, man. This is good because, like you said, I think we have given people like a crutch or made it easy for a lot of people. We are going to give you some more keywords, but let's talk about this. How to really put yourself in the mind of a seller, in the mind of your prospect, and what are they searching for?
Yeah, so I'm Brady. If you can pop up my screen really quick. So I'm gonna talk through this for everybody. Okay, so. The first thing that I'm going to do if I'm doing keyword research is I'm going to go to Google. I'm literally going to go to Google, completely free tool, right? So you don't have any money to be able to do this. And I'm going to put myself in the mind of that seller. A marketing principle I learned a long time ago was that you need to join the conversation in the mind of your prospect. Like what a lot of people do when they're marketing is they think about themselves. They think about, what do I need to write about my business? What do I need to have in there? No, you need to picture your prospect and literally say, before they hit my website or before they do a Google search, what are they thinking? Like what are they going through? What are they even going to possibly search in Google?
Is their story, exactly. Not yours. You need to make them the hero of their story.
Yeah, and so you might not hit it the first time, but I'm going to go in here and let's say I'm going through foreclosure. I might go to Google and type up something like, how to stop my foreclosure, right? So I might type how to stop my foreclosure. And what you see when you end up going to Google is you see these suggested searches that pop up, right? So you see the suggested searches. So some of the suggested searches that are popping up in this one is I literally typed up how to stop my foreclosure. It's how to stop the foreclosure process. Any suggested searches that pop up are popping up because Google is saying enough people have searched these in this past period of time that it matters. And I think because you're searching this, you might be actually looking for this.
Yeah, there's volume behind it. It's not just random AI generated. Those have search volume.
It's important. So here's some other ones that are popping up in that suggested search. These are all possible keywords, right? How to stop the foreclosure process, how to stop your house from foreclosure, how to stop foreclosure on my home. Is there a way to stop foreclosure? How can I stop foreclosure quickly? Ways to stop foreclosure immediately. So I'm going to click this one here, how to stop foreclosure on my home. Okay. So that's actually a keyword. I'm going to grab that keyword. I'm going to copy and paste that puppy into my little text note if that's something I think I might want to look for. Okay. Now that phrase, if you look at the customer journey again, that's way to the left. That's about as far left as you can go, right? It's someone who has no clue what solutions. They're not even actually looking at selling yet. They're just like, how do I stop the process?
Yeah.
So that's as far left as you can go. Now it's going to be higher volume. The further left in the customer journey you go, the higher the volume usually it is. More competitive it might be. The further right on the customer journey you go, the easier it's going to be because it's like narrowing it down to your brand.
Yeah. And the same thing applies to like whether you're in HVAC or construction, like what to do, how to get a cheaper electrical bill with the old HVAC system.
Yep.
Maybe something like that, or what to do about, foundation settling problems. They're trying to see what solutions there are and how they might be able to tackle themselves before knowing about specific products or solutions.
Exactly. So another thing you could do here, and this is where I would usually start. I wouldn't start crazy far to the left of that customer journey, but like, what is it that they're actually trying to do, right? So sell my house fast as an example, or heating and cooling repair or something like that, right? So you're going to start with putting yourself in their mind. You can see a ton of Carrot customers are already crushing it here. But now I'm going to scroll down to where suggested or related searches pop up.
Yeah.
Okay, related searches is where the gold is. And I'm showing you guys these without fancy SEO tools. We're going to show you some cool SEO tools in a second to accelerate this.
Yeah.
But some of the related searches that pop up for sell my house fast, it's starting to localize it for me. Google recognizes I'm in this area, and it says you might be looking for sell my house fast near Eugene. Okay. I might write that down and recognize that people are probably searching it from a local perspective potentially. Or sell my house fast for cash. That's a killer one. I'm going to copy that one right away. Sell my house fast for cash. Google thinks it's related. Put that in my list. Okay. And as you guys are going, I'm going to give you one little tip. This one gets a little bit more advanced, but you're going to find that what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out what keywords are of similar intent. Okay. Now, what is intent, y'all? And this is getting a little bit geeky, right? But if I did a search for sell my house fast, anything that's related down there, Google sees it as the same intent. Okay, so you can see I didn't type sell my house fast into the Google search, but Google's saying you might be thinking sell my house fast for cash because it's the same intent.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm going to take those words because those words are really good words to get on my web page. Those words are really good words to make sure the word for cash or cash is in that content a good bit. And that might even be a great one to put in the title tag too.
Yeah, and intent is really, it's super important. Like one example for us, this is as much related to motivated sellers, but best real estate websites. Like we rank in some spots for best real estate websites. We need to understand whether that intent is like, are people looking for website builders, website building services like Carrot, or are they looking for real estate websites like a news aggregation,
market research or something like
exactly.
that. Yeah.
So intent is huge.
So one last thing on intent, because this can be key when you guys are making your keywords, and we're going to move to the next step, is what you're going to find is when you scroll down into that Google search. So for this one, for sell my house fast, you're going to, what a lot of people think is, oh, I've got to have my primary, what's called a title tag for the page. I've got to have that say sell my house fast Roseburg, right? Well, maybe. But when I'm scrolling down, you'll see this one here, Grand Real Estate Investments. It's one I've pulled up here on the search. Their very first words, and they're a Carrot client crushing it in this search, their very first words are actually, we buy houses, Roseburg, Oregon. And then after that, it says like a variation of sell my house fast. Google recognizes that those are the same intent. It's looking for the people who buy houses. Another result right above that one is Roseburg cash home buyers. Google sees those as the same intent. Someone is looking to sell their house quickly, and or they may be looking for someone to sell it for cash, and or to buy it for cash, and or a cash home buyer. So you're going to see kind of these clues that you're going to go, okay, let me write these down. We buy houses, the word cash in there. You're going to see some other words in there that are just going to be probably good ones to start to include in your content. They're in the same group. They're in the same group of keywords, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. I like it. So we'll yank that off the screen. We'll dive into the next part. So did we hit all that part there?
I think we did. Put yourself, I think, just to recap that section, put yourself in the mind of a prospect. What are they searching for? Don't just think of it as keyword research, but actually join the conversation in their mind and pay attention to the intent. So don't just use the keyword research tools, but go to Google and see what's popping up to see, is it the right intent, and to, kind of skim through search results to see how you might be able to stand out. What can you do that other people aren't writing about? How can you provide unique content? How can you add value where others aren't? That's important. Let's talk about Keyword Explorer, and let's play around with that a little bit, man.
Dude, so let's pop this one back on the screen, Mr. Braden. What I'm going to show you guys now, so I showed you some free ways, right? So way back in the day, I would go and literally do what I just talked with you guys about. I would just go on this journey of following the related searches, and I would go to my competitors' sites that seemed like they were ranking for those things I wanted to rank for, and I'd write down what was in their title tag and all that. And it would take a lot of work, right? And so what we ended up doing is we ended up building a tool inside of our system called Keyword Explorer. And it's such a cool tool, so easy to use. And we're going to show you some ways you can use this tool. There's other tools in the world that do something like this, right? Yeah. But we've simplified it down at a fraction of the cost versus like Ahrefs or something like that. So you're going to build up that Google search and Google Suggest keyword list. By that time, you're going to have a few keywords that you think are probably pretty relevant, right? Oh, it looks like sell my house fast. Maybe my location is a good keyword.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to pull up the Keyword Explorer, and then you're going to literally put in that primary one or two keywords, and you're just going to hit enter or hit search. And so we're now grabbing data from a tool called SEMrush, and we're just saying, hey, what does Google say about these keywords? And there's a few different ways to look at keywords here. There's related. So this is kind of a cool thing because this helps you when you're writing your content on your page. You want to have some of these words in the content because Google is saying these are related. So you want to have robust, relevant content on that page. If I'm trying to optimize for sell my house fast, I'm going to go down this list, and you see the word open door here. Open door is getting searched a lot because they do a lot of marketing.
Yeah.
So am I going to optimize my page for open door? I don't know, but I might put in the word open door a handful of times. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, how does this compare to selling to a company like Open Door? Well, here's how. Right. So I'm going to sprinkle those in because they're telling me that it's related. There's other words in there. Buy houses, right? Hey, we buy houses all over, Wisconsin, So you can see how you can just logically work some of those words in. Home buyers. We're local home buyers, and we have been for the last 10 years. We've bought over 350 homes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to grab some of these keywords, put them in my list as related, because now when I go to build that content out, I'm going to start to sprinkle in some of those related keywords, which makes that content even more relevant. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to make a lot of these my primary keyword, right? I'm just kind of, from that related tab, I'm usually going to figure out, okay, are there different keywords I don't know about? Or can I now take some of this content and work it into my page that's optimized for sell my house fast?
So let's do some, let's play with this. So we've got, you mentioned we're pulling the data from SEMrush. So we're using the Keyword Explorer and Carrot, pulling data from SEMrush. So what happens if you're in a small market, Trevor, like Roseburg? So if you go to Keyword Explorer, type in like, how to sell my house fast, Roseburg, Oregon. What kind of volume can we expect for these super niche terms?
Yeah, dude, killer question. So what you're going to find is oftentimes in the small areas, like we're in a town of less than 30,000 people, right? Oftentimes it's going to show little to no data, okay? And so if you're in a smaller town with, let's say, less than 1 million population, kind of plus or minus, you're probably going to find either no data on the specific keyword sell my house fast Roseburg. But if you go to Google, right, if I go to Google and I start to type in, you can see I start to type in sell my house fast and then just hit enter, or I'm sorry, not enter, hit space.
Yeah.
It's going to give me a bunch of suggestions of how people are searching. And so in this one here that I found, it's like sell my house fast for cash is a suggestion that came up literally when I just did sell my house fast with a space bar. And now Google's trying to say, oh, well, you might be thinking this. But you know what it also shows? It shows states. It shows Florida, near me, Connecticut, Texas, California. So that gives me an indication that people are searching by state pretty good. Okay. So I might, if I'm in Roseburg, I might now go, let me see if there's any data around Oregon. So I'm going to go to that keyword explorer, and there may not be deep data even around that, right? So we'll do sell my house fast Oregon and see if there's anything there. There may or may not be. But the more broad you make that search, the more data that there may be. The more narrow we make it, the less data. And so in this one here, that's a good point, Brady. So I'm in Roseburg, town of 30,000 people. There's not going to be much data. But but in here in the related section, sell my house fast, Portland, Oregon, those exact words, I'm talking those exact words in that exact order. And that's the way we need to look at this data, y'all, is this shows those exact words in the exact order. So this doesn't include sell my house fast in Portland, Oregon. Okay. So whatever numbers and data you see here, where this shows a search volume of 70 per month, it's actually going to be more than 70.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will look at this and they'll scroll down here further and like, oh my gosh, it's only, house buying companies, Portland is only 30 people a month. Should I even optimize for that? That's those exact words in that exact order.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So there might be 100 or more people searching that exact thing.
Yeah.
In that market every month.
Yeah. So sell my house. So if we go in a phrase match in the Keyword Explorer, sell my house fast Oregon's got a volume of 70, so likely a lot more than that. And it's interesting that the difficulty is only 27. That seems pretty low. We'll talk about difficulty.
Yeah, let's talk about difficulty. So I'll bring up the definitions of difficulty, and I'll kind of bounce back and forth. So if you guys are using our Keyword Explorer tool, guys, you can unlock the Keyword Explorer tool inside of our SEO tools. And we've got some amazing SEO tools that we can show some in the Q&A section after this is done. But amazing SEO tools, it goes way beyond just keyword research.
Yeah.
What is it, $30 a month or so, I think it is, to add it on.
$29 a month, yeah.
Yeah. And so you're going to unlock all this rather than paying Ahrefs $100 to $200 a month. So difficulty is this. Whenever we're starting to narrow down our keywords now, and I'm going to give everyone a quick recap, okay? We first started with brand search on the right side of the customer journey. We wrote down our company name reviews, maybe your name if you're the founder and you're out there on your radio and TV commercials. Rank for those. Number two, we went to Google and said, let's put ourselves in the mind of that client. What would they type into Google? And you're going to start to have Google give you some suggestions. Okay, I'm talking if I went into a market, I'm starting from scratch, right? It's going to give me some suggestions. I'm starting to copy down now the top 3, 4, 5 things that seem like that are Google suggested or related searches that might be good ones. I'm going to take those now and put them into a research tool to go even deeper. That's what we're doing right here, okay? And so once we pick 3, 4, or 5 of these keywords now, when we find a couple keywords that are in the same family of keywords, like we buy houses and sell my house fast, or cash home buyers and sell my house fast and we buy houses, they're the same intent. They keep showing up in the related searches together. Now we need to go, well, which one should we actually go for? Because you want to have a good balance of volume. It's worth it to go after it because enough people are actually searching it, and ease. Right? So I wouldn't want to go after a keyword that shows a 10 or 0 on volume. If it shows a 0, there's likely people searching it. It's more than 0. And I've even found sometimes like those 0 ones are pretty darn great ones to launch because they're going to be easier to rank for, and people do search them. Yeah. And so don't ignore the ones that show 0 volume. They're going to be easier to rank for oftentimes, not all times, but oftentimes. And you can launch them quick. Yeah. So I'm going to find ones that have a volume of, let's say, minimum 30 to 50 minimum. I'd love to see ones in the hundreds, but a lot of our markets and those keywords won't show that. And I want to ideally have a keyword difficulty that's decently easy. So what does easy mean? So in our tool, which is built from SEMrush and their data, 0 to 14 is very easy. Okay, so what does that mean? It says these are the best opportunities to start ranking new web pages on Google if you want to rank as soon as possible with the least amount of effort.
This would be like our example we did, I showed it on the webinar yesterday, but a few years ago, we shot in this office a video on co-working spaces, Roseburg, Oregon,
Yep.
and we used Kara's video post tool, turned it into a blog post, didn't do any editing, no title tags, no, we didn't edit the transcription. It's still outranking. It's actually outranking the co-work space right down the street still.
It is, like the one that actually markets.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yep.
So that's your 0 to 14.
Yeah, that's your 0 to 14, literally
niche.
with the video post. Took under 10 minutes from idea to actually getting online. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses, y'all. 15 to 29 is easy. These keywords have some competition, but are still achievable, even if your domain is new. To rank for these, you need to produce quality content focused on the keyword's intent. Okay, 30 to 49 is possible. For these, you'll need quality, well-structured content that's properly optimized for your target keywords. 50 to 69 is difficult. To compete for these keywords, you'll need some quality backlinks, along with producing well-structured and optimized content. 70 to 84 is hard. Winning these keywords will require a lot of effort in terms of getting better quality backlinks to support your well-optimized and unique content. And then 85 to 100 is very hard. To compete for these, you'll need to put a lot of effort not only into producing high-quality content and link building, but also into on-page and SEO content promotion. Okay, so on this, I don't want to have people shy away from difficult, hard, or very hard. Mm-hmm. Because oftentimes those ones are among the ones that have the most traffic too.
Right.
Right. So it's like risk reward. You're going to have to put in some more work to get a better reward. So don't always go after the ones, y'all, that are just very easy and possible, because those are probably the ones that are very easy for a reason, because there's not a lot of competition.
Yeah.
Because there might not be a giant opportunity there. Right.
Yeah.
So with this example we pulled up, Sell My House Fast, Oregon. It has a volume of 70 per month. Now, once again, there's a lot of variations of that keyword. So my guess is there's hundreds probably searching that per month, that exact keyword.
Yeah.
Right. And it's got a difficulty of 27. So what does that mean? That's easy. These keywords have some competition, but are still achievable. Even if your domain is new, to be able to rank for these, you'll need to produce quality content focused on keywords intent. Now, I'm adding this. You'll probably also need some good backlinks.
That's interesting. You point out, even if your domain is new, because we talk often about how SEO is a long game, and it is. Mm-hmm. And so like it takes about 6 to 12 months in most cases to get traction with your SEO. But we still get customers, we get Carrot members every single week. They're like, you won't believe it, launched a Carrot site. It was working right out of the box, and it can in some of these smaller markets or more specific search phrases. Yep. And we've seen it a ton of times where someone will launch their website and it starts ranking for some weird super niche term, and like I started getting leads. Yeah. I mean, Chris Teague on here is one example of using it for construction. It was like, oh, I might misquote, like a couple weeks later got a lead off his Carrot site. It's like, it's working.
And it probably didn't have, it probably had a really low search volume, right? Yeah. And so that's something, guys, I don't want you to ignore those, because once again, you can create those location pages or those niche authority pages through our niche authority builder, or blog posts or video posts really easily.
It's easy to think about, see that number on a screen. And same thing with like social media followers. You think like, oh, okay, there's only 20 volume here. There's 30 volume. That seems pretty low in contrast with the others. But you think about 30 human beings standing in front of you, like 30 potential leads that are searching for exactly what you have.
Yep.
It's 30 humans.
Exactly. And it's likely more than that number. Yeah. So that's always a low estimate. So another thing you guys can do, which I really love to find other really, really good keywords, is like imagine if you looked at your top competitor in your market. So it's the number one ranking or number two ranking HVAC company. You know that they're a good business and they do a lot of business. Or it's the number one or number two ranking agent or house flipper or wholesaler.
Yeah.
So take those keywords you just found, right? And you're going to go, okay, I've started to narrow it down. Here's the ones that kind of have a decent opportunity, not like they're not a 90 out of 100 difficulty. They were kind of related together into one clump. So these are probably going to be like your homepage and location page keywords that are the primary ones. I'm going to go to Google now in my market, and I'm going to literally type that in and go sell my house fast in Roseburg. Okay, so I'm going to localize it now. I'm going to really localize it now. Or you could do sell my house fast or heating and cooling companies or HVAC companies near me or something, right? So I'm going to grab this, and at the top here is Mr. Anthony Beckham, one of our clients. I'm going to grab this URL, and his is going to be a little bit different because he is a real estate agent as well. And I'm going to now go into the Keyword Explorer, and I'm going to literally put in my top 1 to 2 competitors' websites into the Keyword Explorer, because what this does as now it says, hey, look at that website and tell me what they're ranking for. And not only tell me what they're ranking for, but tell me what percentage of their organic traffic is coming from that keyword.
Yeah, this is my favorite thing to do with the Keyword Explorer. I love spying on other people's websites and seeing where their energy is going.
Heck yeah. So for Anthony here, like I said, this is going to be a little bit different because he's one of the top real estate agents and he's a hybrid investor in town. So 41.33% of all of his organic traffic is coming to a blog post.
Dude, so check us out. I want to pause here. So what we're looking in the screen in the Keyword Explorer, we have related to Anthony Beckham's website or the things that he's ranking for. We got Roseburg, Oregon, Anthony Beckham Group. Anthony Beckham, his name. So Anthony Beckham has a killer YouTube channel, puts out a lot of YouTube videos. Probably like the biggest YouTube channel in our small town, arguably. His name alone is a search volume of 140. That's huge. So you talk about how important brand search is, and 10% of the traffic from his website is coming from people just looking for his name. That's huge.
So that's what we mentioned earlier. If you're out there in your marketing, you have to optimize for your name. And so make sure your about page is clearly has your name on it. You might even create your own darn page about you.
And if he wasn't doing that, they're probably going to find his Facebook profile, like his personal Facebook profile or something like that.
Exactly.
Or an old MySpace. I don't know.
Exactly. See, 41% of his traffic comes from literally the name of the town because he used our process. And you can actually click to see what page is the one that's ranking there. So I can reverse engineer now a little bit of how my competitor got there.
Yeah.
Right. So I might not care at all about ranking for our town name, but I can see how he did it. He made a blog post, pros and cons of living in Roseburg, made a killer video, and then he essentially did a video post. He modified and better formatted this video post, but it's essentially the words in the video formatted to look a little bit better. Okay, so let's now grab one that is not a real estate agent. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to pick this next one, Columbia Development, and I'm just going to pick the top couple competitors that are ranking in the area that I want to rank for, and I'm just going to put them into the Keyword Explorer because what I'm looking for, guys, is I'm looking to see, hey, number one, do those keywords that I started to get some research on, are they actually driving traffic? That's one of the things. Are they working for other competitors? Number two, are there any other keywords I'm missing that this person, it seems like, is getting some traffic from? Now, what this won't tell us, is that traffic turning into leads? It won't tell us, is that traffic turning into revenue for them? It's just a cue to say some traffic is getting generated from this.
Yeah.
So this one here, Columbia Redevelopment, I know this is a Portland-based company. They're about 300 miles away from where we are today, or however long it is, 180 miles away. So wholesaling real estate, looks like that's their number one trafficked piece of content, 5% of their stuff. It's a blog post. So when people say, blogs don't matter, they do. They get traffic and they get search. Now, the question is, do you need blogs to get motivated sellers, or do you need blogs to get an HVAC client? No. You don't need them, but they do work when you're using them effectively. Okay. We Buy Houses Portland. If I'm in the Portland market or I'm in Roseburg, I'm like, dude, 2.1% of all their traffic comes from it. It's a 27 difficulty with that, which that's easy. 210 people searching that a month. He's in position 8 right now. When you're on page 1, number one organic position gets plus or minus about 30 to 40% of the clicks. Okay. The number 2 position, plus or minus, gets 15 to 20% of the clicks. Number 3 gets, whatever that is, 7 to 10% of the clicks, and so on. Basically, from number 1 position down, the traffic gets cut in half until it's pretty much negligible. Result number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and down. So if I'm looking at this and I see 2.1% of their traffic is coming from this, and they're ranked number 8 in Google in Portland, I'm going, dude, if they rank number 1, it's probably going to be their biggest search thing overall. So I might really see that opportunity to go after that. Yeah. And I can click through and see what page is actually the page that's ranking, see why. Okay, they've got their keyword up here in the deal. They've in the URL. They've got some content in here. I might even see how many words they have on here. And I'm just going to go build a better page.
ColumbiaRedevelopment.com/houses for Portland.
Yep. Sell my house fast. Sell my house fast Portland. There's a bunch of good stuff in here. So it just gives me some more indicators is all it does.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what's cool is when you're using the Keyword Explorer, you hit that little plus icon and add them to your keyword rank tracker. And then boom, just start tracking all those keywords one by one.
That's right. That's a great point, Brady. Yeah. So right here, guys, I had it pulled down at that moment. But if I'm logged into my Carrot account and I want to add in Sell My House Fast Portland, just like Brady said. I click this, it pulls it up. It doesn't work for me because I'm not logged into an actual website account, but then it would say, hey, which website do you want to add this to if you have multiple websites?
Yeah.
You click it, and it adds it right to your admin, which we'll talk about tracking those keywords here in a second.
Yeah. Awesome. That's all I have, man. I don't know if you want to talk about tracking keywords, or if you want to close out the podcast for this part and head over to Q&A.
Yeah,
Up to you, man.
I'll just give the call to action that once you determine what those keywords are going to be, then just track the ranking somewhere. Be intentional with it. And so inside of our system, we have the SEO tab, which has the rankings tab, and you'll just simply put those keywords right in there, and then our system will be able to track your progress on those over time. Okay, so you can put in Corvallis HVAC repair, and it's going to tell you, is it going up? Is it going down? Which page is ranking? What's the volume of that? And it'll even tell you some tips on how to get it ranked higher. So that's really what you guys need to do. Now, we threw a lot at you, but we'll do a really quick recap. Number one, always think of the customer journey first. Work backwards, work right to left. Get your brand search first. Say, hey, these are the top 2 or 3 keywords I need to rank for. Is my company name reviews, and your name if you're in the marketing. That's your about page, probably usually, right? Number 2, go to Google, put yourself in the mind of that prospect. How would they search? What would they search? Look at what suggested or related searches come up. Start to copy some of those down, save them.
Yeah.
You'll start to see a kind of a pocket of similar keyword phrases. Now go to a tool like ours, put those keywords in and look at volume and difficulty. Okay, you're going to want to find something ideally with at least 30 volume or above in a smaller market. And then you want to, I'd say maybe start with the ones that are 50 to 60 difficulty or lower. Your biggest traffic ones are probably going to be higher difficulty. We can get there.
Yeah.
You can get there.
My last question for you, man, is how long should it be? So let's say you're putting effort into ranking for these keywords. You've worked on your homepage, some of these core pages, and you're waiting for those rankings to increase. When's it a good time to start, experimenting with some of the niche keywords? Like one example, like Rosangela Russo, Carrot member, she came to us and said they got a lead, close a deal from the search term was something like how to sell my house while my spouse is in prison.
Really?
Like super hyper specific. It might have even had a location tagged into the end there, but they closed a deal from a piece of content they had written about that in Florida. And I'm like, that's crazy. And so I don't know, that question might be in people's mind of like, okay, I've already done the work. I'm waiting for the rankings to pop up. I'm optimizing them, but I have time to do some more niche stuff. Yep. When does that come?
Yeah, so for me, and this is probably a whole deep episode by itself, I'll give you guys the cliff notes. For me, you focus that first few weeks on your core conversion pages, which is your brand search and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you launch your first handful of location pages, which is those primary keywords we just walked you through how to get today.
Yep.
Okay. Once you have all your location pages or the primary ones you want to have going, you've got them on the internet, you've started to optimize them well, and you're now tracking them. At that point now, I would start to maybe launch some of those kind of more niche location pages.
Gotcha.
And you can localize them by state is kind of what I would suggest. That's something you're working with Keith a good bit in our ecosystem through the data they were even finding is that you start to look at the state on the niches and it works a little bit better.
Yeah.
Versus making a page like that for every city you're in. Because that's what some people were doing. They're literally creating a how to sell a house when my spouse is in prison page for every city that is in Oregon.
Yeah.
That they're doing business. Like, no, just create one for the state. That'll handle it.
That's a good answer. Yeah. So first few weeks is your brand search, your core conversion pages, and then your location pages, and then start to worry about the niche phrases.
Yep.
Not worry. Do research, experiment.
That's right.
Sweet.
Well,
All
dude,
right.
we made it through another episode, man. We're 2 in. I think we're starting to get the roll of it. And we want to give you guys something. Okay. So we're going to give you the fish now, basically. Brady, what do we want to give them? Where can they go?
SEO Keyword Bible. Carrot.com/Bible. We'll get you the SEO Bible. And go to carrot.com/Bible. And we're going to give you a whole bunch of different keywords, something like 10 of the top keywords based on whatever niche you're in. So maybe you're going after rent to own. Maybe you're going after motivated sellers, whatever area of real estate you're in. There's a section in that in that playbook for those keywords. So yeah, totally free, no strings attached. Go to carrot.com/Bible, get that. And that's the end of the podcast. Thanks everyone for listening. In a second, we're going to jump into Q&A if you're in the community. But if you got value out of this, hit subscribe, leave us a review, share with a friend. It would mean a lot to us.
And head over to the community also. If you're listening to this on podcast or YouTube, community.carrot.com is where it all goes down. Amazing community, people helping each other drive forward their evergreen marketing and grow the businesses. And like Brady said, try out the Keyword Explorer. It's inside the SEO tools. Just log into your Carrot account, or if you're not a Carrot member yet, join Carrot, add the SEO tools to it. It's going to unlock this entire feature set and a lot more for only $30 a month or so. And that's probably a 10x value right there. So guys, everybody watching this should add that, and then cancel your Ahrefs account and save a bunch of money.
If you're not a Carrot member, we got a 30-day money-back guarantee. We don't have a free demo, but you can get in, sign up, play around with it if you want. Demo it out for yourself. So,
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Good work, man.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys. Beautiful. Awesome, man. That was fun, dude. That was fun.
Oh, we're unmuted?
You can.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks, Brady.
Excellent, guys. So anyone who's on here on the Facebook group, now we're gonna kind of go into Q&A mode, and yeah, we'd love to answer any questions that pop up. What's up, George? Love it, man. Dude, we need to get you up to Carrot Camp. I saw your post on the socials the other day. Get a hold of Brady.
I was literally just messaging him right before we went live. I'm like, we got to get you in.
Let's lock you in, man. Let's lock you in. Yeah, hit up Brady. Let's get you in there.
Let me pull up questions. We had a couple. Let me pull these up here. We had one of them was from Mike Wall. Mike Wall's in the community. He was asking some questions last week as well. Mike, we kind of already talked about this. We could talk about other tools. Sorry, I'm preambling. What tools do you use for keyword research? One thing, as we were talking about, Trevor, I was thinking, is Google Trends still relevant? I used to love using Google Trends, not as much as like a keyword research tool or as a necessity, but just to kind of scratch curiosity.
Yeah.
And look at like seasonality with keywords. So you ever use Google Trends for anything?
Dude, it's a good question. I mean, I won't usually use it for keyword research per se, but I'll use it for marketing ideas, or I think you could. You definitely could use it to see if people are talking about something differently today than, let's say, 5 years ago. If the trend is up, to say this versus down.
Yeah.
But I mean, the tools we showed today are really good ones. Just literally start out with Google and Google Suggest or the searches. There's a tool that's a pretty cool tool called Answer the Public, that, like, if you're wanting to get crazy deep with stuff, you could type that in. So I pulled up Answer the Public to sell my house fast. I have no clue what's going to come up here, if there's going to be anything good on here. It looks like Neil Patel bought this company too, dude.
No way.
He did.
Smart move on Neil Patel.
Yeah. So yeah, you can type up a keyword phrase in there, and I'm just seeing what it'll show. So let me share my screen here. Actually, I don't have the right thing up. Let me drag it over here.
There we go.
Braden. Okay, cool. There we go. It should show it now.
It's all Neil Patel branded now.
Yep, it is. So Answer the Public's kind of cool, because you type in the keyword phrase, and it's going to give you some level of a search volume, but then it's going to start to give a bunch of related. Is Sell My House legit? It's going to give you some search volume stuff. That's kind of a cool one. Let's see. Another one that's always pretty darn good is just literally Google PPC's free keyword tool. So Google Ads keyword tool, keyword planner.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, you used to be able to just go to it without having a campaign live, but that could be off in this now, but you may have to have a campaign to be able to use that now. But I'm here inside of the Keyword Explorer, inside of my ad account, inside the Keyword Planner, and so I can go right here and I can go to discover more keywords. So Sell My House fast as an example, or put in something else there, have it give me some results, and then it'll give me some good stuff there. So between those tools, I would start with free Google Suggest, use our Keyword Explorer, and then if you have an ads account, the Keyword Planner.
Yeah. If you're, one thing we didn't talk about, just because it wasn't really in the main focus, but is YouTube videos. So I personally use a tool called TubeBuddy. What's the other one, Braden? Besides TubeBuddy, the YouTube plugin, the blue one, vidIQ. So vidIQ. Those are both really good tools, and I think they have free versions. You can plug it into your YouTube account. But if you're doing basic keyword research on YouTube, it makes it really easy. It'll tell you essentially like a red to green. It's not going to give you the exact numbers, which is okay with me, but it'll give you like a red to green on search volume, so you can gauge how much volume that search is getting specifically in YouTube, and it's pulling this data from Google. And then it's going to tell you the difficulty as well. So you can go into that Keyword Explorer, tell you, and type in how to sell my house fast, whatever, and find out the difficulty. And it's going to give you a score, like just a basic keyword score of like 0 to 100. And so it's interesting because on YouTube, there's a ton of low hanging fruit on the investor side. Like investors are not really putting out hardly any YouTube content. Agents are killing it.
Investors like hide behind the camera, they hide behind the websites. And that's something, guys, we've been saying for years here at Carrot, like years, that, and I think we're going to start to see it like really flesh out over the next 2 to 5 years, that the investors who are hiding behind the website, who are hiding behind your marketing, who are hiding behind things, you're going to have a harder time because brands are going to be winning over this next 3 to 5 years. Brands are going to be winning. Now, do you have to be a big brand? No, you don't have to be a big brand, but a brand has an identity. It usually has some person that's behind it in some way, shape, or form. At least it has an identity. You guys need to step out there and do that.
So check this out. I just decided to see what would pop up for this. I went into our YouTube channel. I have the TubeBuddy Keyword Explorer plugin installed on here. I typed in how to sell my house fast. You get a score 100. Anytime I see 100 out of 100, I'm like, yes, absolutely going to do content on this. No new videos recently have been done on it. A ton of search volume. So it's as good as it gets for volume. There's maybe a little bit of competition. I'm not sure what this optimization strength. Oh, how well optimized the top ranking videos are. So the top ranking videos, it's basically telling you people aren't really trying that hard. Maybe they don't have very robust descriptions, or they're not mentioning that actual keyword in the video. I kind of ignore this number of videos and search results. It's just going to be 658 million videos. Like, what do you do with that? But yeah, it's just super low hanging fruit.
Yep. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. If there's no other questions, I've got a podcast at noon I'm going to flip to where we're going to talk about the NAR settlement with Mr. Chris Bounds, Carrot customer, hybrid agent investor. So we'll probably be coming with some more kind of NAR stuff in this podcast sometime eventually. But dude, great topic, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely. And thanks everybody for joining.
Yeah, and guys, give us some comments in here, okay? So if you like this format, let us know. If you don't like the format, let us know. So wherever you're watching this, whether it's on YouTube or in the Facebook group, say, dude, love this format. Keep doing it, or adjust these things. So we want the feedback. We're only 2 episodes in, but I can promise you guys, we're in it for hundreds of episodes. This is not hey, we're going to try an experiment for a couple weeks kind of a thing. So we're pumped about it.
And if you feel like you're doing something wrong or things aren't going well, let's say you're not getting results and you're like, hey, I feel like I should be ranking for this by now, or hey, can I get your feedback on this? Those are the questions we want to hear. We want to get into the nitty gritty. So let us know.
Love it, love it. Awesome, guys. You guys have an amazing rest of the week. Keep the Facebook community cranking. I'm so pumped that we're seeing our community come together. Get that you get one of the final Carrot Camp tickets. Guys, it's a transformational event. It's something that is among my most favorite things I get to do here at Carrot. Get to meet amazing new people. And I don't know that I've ever talked to a Carrot Camper out of the hundreds who have not said that it's like among the, if not the best event that they'd ever been to. Because we focus on transformation, and you're going to walk away with potential business partners too. Like, that's a cool thing. So guys, go to carrot.com/camp. Is that correct?
Yep.
Carrot.com/camp. Get your application in, or if you've already got it in and you're not answering your phone call or the text message from our team, do that.
You're going to lose your seat.
Yeah, we're going to be locking these seats in here for the next couple of weeks, and we're going to go. Awesome, guys. Appreciate it. Have an amazing rest of the week.
See y'all.